Hello, thank you for tuning into my channel. It's WIP It Wednesday for Wednesday, August 7th, 2019. So if you want to see what I've been working on this week, please stay tuned. This week has been pretty busy in the sewing and craft room. One interesting thing that happened is that the school year started, and so if you've been following my channel, you know that the school year starting up makes crafting a little bit more challenging for me because I have to be at school now instead of at home like I was for the summer. But I'm still going to try to keep my videos up so that I can keep providing you with ideas and inspiration, hopefully, that you can use on your projects. One thing that I did this week was I was working on my that pattern from Cozy Quilt Designs, A Star is Born, and I made a few more blocks. I have a total now of 5, and I don't know which ones you have seen and which ones you have not. So I'm just going to hold the blocks up one at a time so you can kind of take a look at them. And I took the pattern that's originally designed for 2.5-inch strips, and I'm actually using 2-inch strips to make this quilt because I'm using a Moda scrap bag to do this. And I really like each of these blocks. With the Moda scrap bag, they're all one fabric line, but they may be cut strangely, like that you may have 3-inch strips, or you may have strips. For this one, it was strips that were kind of cut along the selvage edge, and so I had to cut the selvages off of this one, of these strips, to get my 2-inch strips. Another one, when I made the baby Bargello quilt, it was really long strips, and then I made a rail fence out of one of the scrap bags, and it was I think they were a little bit wider, like maybe 2 3/4 or something like that. I don't know. Or no. They were 2.5-inch strips, but they were only like 30 inches or something. They were short. So, you know, these are, since it is a fabric line, they all coordinate. I did add a few fabrics like this light gray I added, and then this green. That's left over from my son's Heartbeat Bargello quilt, and then this white is also from that quilt. So I've added a few fabrics to kind of fill it out, and I may need to add more because I feel like my fabric is running low. But you know, whatever. I'll see what I need to do to get however many. I haven't even decided how many blocks I want to make. So this is kind of an open-ended project. There is one more block over here though that I'm currently working on, but I'll work on that some later. Another thing that I was working on is my Drunken Path. For last week's WIP It Wednesday, somebody asked when I would get back to that. And if you haven't seen these blocks, there are 2 Drunken Path blocks. I put them all, I made them all with some fabric that I got from Jamaica, and then some denim that I had in my stash. So there are 2 types of blocks. And what I did over the weekend is I did several layouts for them. I'll put a couple in the of pictures right here of some of the layouts that I did. But I really want to get back to this quilt. I think it's going to be really cool. It turned out, I thought I was going to have 64 blocks, but I actually have 80 blocks. So I was able to do some really interesting designs and see what I could come up with. My only concern about getting back to these, and it's really a concern of laziness, it's not a big deal, but is that I will have to square up each one of these individual blocks. And so just the thought of that is kind of like, and I don't want to do it. But for the design that I've chosen, I know if I take the time to square it up, it's going to be great. And for each one of these blocks is a little bit different. I don't know if you can see, because some of them, there's just a little edge peeking over right here. And so I know that I need to square them up because I need to clean up these edges and make sure that they're all really the right size. Also, the fabric that I got from Jamaica, it's not 100% cotton, and so it's going to be weird when I get ready to stitch it together. So I know that I at least have a chance if they're all squared up. So that's something that I may work on in the coming week. I don't really know yet. But I know that once I get them squared up and lay them out, it's not going to be hard to stitch them together. It's just that squaring up part that I don't really want to do. Is there a particular part of quilt making that you really struggle with? If there is, leave it in the comments. This whole squaring up thing, especially the thought of it being 80 blocks, it's a lot. And the only other thing that I want to highlight for this week is a lot of you said that you were interested in the pattern for the Pieces of My Heart quilt that was on my past video. I will get that ready very soon. I just haven't had a chance to get started on it yet. But hopefully this weekend I'll get started on it and maybe have it ready for you in a couple weeks. So look forward to that. If you haven't seen that video, please check it out. It's the Pieces of My Heart Crumb quilt, and I'll put a picture of that quilt right here. I'm still quilting it, but I'm not quite done yet, so I haven't shown it. So if you have questions about what you've seen today or any of my other projects, please leave them in the comments. Thumbs up this video, share it with your friends, and thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!